Us now to straighten all this out is Pat Brady, former head of the Republican Party of Illinois. Here's a headline picture. You can see Kevin McCarthy in the middle of a crowd there. I mean, this is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this. Can you tell us, I mean, without going too far into the weeds, because this really is a battle in the weeds. It's like the battle of two egos. How and why did this happen? This motion, and then, you know, what brought on the motion?
Well, I think it's because Matt Gaetz, the guy that brought the motion, doesn't care about governing. He cares about clicks and raising money. Because this is not the Republicans against the Republicans. Most of the Republicans in the caucus, the people in the House of Representatives, support Speaker McCarthy. It was Matt Gaetz, who, by the way, is under investigation by the Ethics Committee for some really bad conduct. This is all more about him than anything else. So that's how it got done. And again, it goes back to when Speaker McCarthy got this job. He had to make some concessions on rules, and one of which was changing it, going back to one member could make a motion to vacate or basically throw the speaker out.
Right. So Gaetz is...
And remember, he got thrown out because he actually avoided a government shutdown, doing what he's supposed to do. And Matt Gaetz says, well, we don't like that.
Right. It's really phenomenal.
Well, it's political.
Especially how much is going on in the world. That this infighting has done this.
It's not even infighting. It's Gaetz fighting. The rest of the caucus supports McCarthy. And the Democrats just sat by it, and I don't blame them, laughed. I go, we're not going to bail you out.
Right.
But this is all about Matt Gaetz. And I think when Speaker McCarthy said that, hey, I did the right thing, and I don't mind sacrificing my job for that, that's the most diplomatic or thing that I like the best I've seen out of any Republican in a long time. They're putting partisanship away. Let's get some stuff done for the people.
Kind of very Gerald Ford-esque. Like,
Exactly.
I'm going to give up the presidency to pardon Richard Nixon.
Exactly. I wouldn't go that far.
It was not that far.
Yeah, Speaker McCarthy played a lot of footsie with Trump and basically saved him. So
exactly. But we got Gaetz, a guy who is under an ethics investigation for misuse of funds
and other weird
serious
stuff.
sexual improprieties. So he's not going to be the next speaker.
No.
McCarthy says he's done with it. So who's his next speaker of the House?
Well, the temporary one is Patrick McHenry. He's a good guy and very popular in the caucus. It'd probably be Steve Scalise, the next guy in line, who's a very good guy, and the people like Gaetz actually said they would support him. The interesting thing to watch will be, I think Gaetz fades back after this, because if his only notoriety or his only relevance is if he's fighting and throwing bombs. And if they're actually all getting along and they ignore him, which they probably should have done in the first place, then we don't hear much from Gaetz.
Was Scalise a gentleman who was shot in that softball game?
He was shot in a softball
ago?
game. You know, Congressman Rodney Davis from Illinois was actually there too, but Scalise was badly injured.
Okay, so
but he's fighting some health issues right now too. So
yeah, cancer or something like that.
Yeah, some blood cancer.
Okay,
great guy. He's very,
okay, so you think he might be the guy they tap? So Adam,
I wasn't sure because I didn't know if he was actually going to go for it because he's undergoing these treatments. But last night, some people I talked to said he's whipping votes. So I think he'd be the front runner. But you know, it could be Elise Stefanik, McHenry. There's a lot of people, Jim Jordan, which I think would be a disaster for Republicans.
Holy cow, out of Ohio.
Oh, God, but that's another bomb. He's another political
Well, I mean,
terrorist.
he was just here holding committee meetings.
Yeah, they got a lot done, didn't they?
Lodge, right. Okay, so former Illinois Republican Adam Kinzinger has a lot of respect on both sides of the aisle, served his country, said basically, you know, years of appeasing to the far right gets you this. This being this quagmire. I mean, it is legit the swamp in Congress. Agreed?
I totally agree. You don't negotiate with terrorists, and Matt Gaetz is a political terrorist. Probably in hindsight, and this would go against everything some of the extremes of either party stand for, reach across the aisle. There's a lot of moderate Democrats, not a lot, but they're moderate Democrats you could probably deal with as a Republican, and I was hoping that Speaker McCarthy would do that to save his speakership, just because it would give a sign to everybody that we're done with the hyper-partisanship. We can actually work with the other side like we used to do when Reagan was president.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, McCarthy is pretty right of right. I mean, he was a guy who went and did, you know, Trump tour after, you know, the insurrection.
But these guys, Gaetz isn't right.
No, Gaetz is right of right of right of right.
Well, he's not even right. He's just a nut. He didn't stand for anything.
Yeah.
McCarthy is a traditional Reagan-type conservative.
Yeah. So who wins out of all this?
Democrats.
Oh, okay.
If you're a Democrat, you're just sitting there going, wow, this is fun to watch. Just watch them.
Well, that's kind of what they did. They just
Yeah.
watched the implosion happen.
Yeah, and then go back and say, Republicans, we gave you guys the voters, you gave them the majority, and they can't govern. And that's a pretty good message. So hopefully they pick it up and get going in the right direction and get somebody in there and stop the not the infighting, but the political terrorism, and they start to get things done. This is not good for Republicans.
Yeah, okay. Pat Brady, former head of the Illinois GOP here. We always appreciate a good friend of the stream. Brought your daughter in studio. She's going to run in the marathon, so maybe she can teach Ed a few things, as he said he's going to run in the marathon.
I think she's going to win it, man. She's going to be
probably going to win it.
Yeah.
But she can probably drag out along, too. But great seeing you, my friend. Thank you for the insights,
see you, yeah.
appreciation, and we'll talk to you again soon.